Hey guys, how are you? We're going to do a little trade review of today, April 9th. I traded SPY options. So let's go over my trades. I'm going to be a little quieter than usual because it is late in the night right now. Okay, it's not that late. Here's my trade log, okay? So you can see here, I opened my first position at 9:31. I added again at 9:46. Collecting credit on these two trades here. So my average price on this position was approximately $68 per spread. I closed the trade at 2 o'clock, after 2 o'clock, okay? So I held this trade for almost the majority of the trading session. It ended up being a profitable trade, and we'll go over that real quick. So we had a bit of a roller coaster trading session, a very choppy day in the markets overall. Not a bad day if you're a smart scalper, but generally, I've realized that if you want to make money consistently trading options, you definitely need to be an option seller. And that's just the decision I've made to understand. Long premium just gets killed, especially in this market condition, okay? So you get like a huge drop like this. IV is high. If you buy calls, you'll get killed. You might make some money, but you won't make as much as you would if you just bought shares. So yeah, I'll show you. So I sold the 280 calls and bought the 282 calls. So it was a 2-point wide spread, and I was willing to scale in. I went into today with a plan of wanting to sell some premium, and I realized pretty quickly that after we saw this drastic move up in the pre-market, that I was gonna wanna be selling calls more probably than selling puts. Now, it didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but it still worked in the end of it. I just held through a lot of nonsense, which was not exactly fun. We moved up and I sold right here on 9:31. We saw the move up again, and then I sold again right here. Now what you can see is I'll even use the replay function to show you. Let's go. So starting from here approximately, okay? So let's look at the 2-minute chart. You can see how SPY is chopping around in this triple inside bar formation. Now at this point, what happened was we broke lower, higher again. Now look at how the price reacted here. There were some buyers that came in to push this price above 280, but I was skeptical of the bulls if we were not going to see a lot of follow through, and that's why it's crucial to watch the other sectors, not just SPY, because SPY trades based on the broad market, okay? It doesn't just trade on its own. And you could argue that. You could say SPY does trade on its own, but it's important to watch the other sectors, okay? So look at that break right there. You can see we broke up to 280.50 straight into a bear bar and now an inside bar. So that right there it could signal a false top if we break bearish from there. And there we go. We got a bearish candle, and now this is signaling that this could in fact be a false bull breakout. And we get a big bear follow through, and then this leads us all the way down. So we pulled back there for a nice lower high right to the moving average. The buyers couldn't push it past the moving average, and we continued selling for a second leg down. At this point, we bounced right off the support of the low of the day. Look at that awesome volume that came in. And this was out of nowhere, basically. There was just a buy program set to come in down at this 277 area, and they defended it very aggressively. You can see how much that moved there. Broke to a higher high above that. Moving average previously pulled back for a higher low, and then we eventually moved higher. So I didn't cut the trade at any point here. And again, it's kind of hard to cut the trade, especially when as soon as the price is getting down to here, we get aggressive buying and pushes the price way back up. So kind of tricky for that regard. Again, I was short the 280 calls, so I was pretty close to the trading price. But the advantage of being short options that are close to the trading price is that the decay is much higher. The theta is much higher on your position, but it is relative to expiration day and how far or close to the trading price you're going, okay? So let's keep looking at how this price reacted. We pushed down again to the 277 area, and again, it just couldn't do it. This sort of choppy range right here, a lower low with no follow through. And again, I remember watching this on the tape, and there was some good indications here of how we tried to break to a lower low, and we did it approximately 3 times. And on the final attempt here, where we broke the closest we got to 277, that's where the buyers just stepped in again, and we had a 2-legged move up. So just watching the tape and kind of being in flow with these buyers and sellers is an important thing to do. So look at how the price didn't look back after that. We just formed higher lows and higher highs, little minimal pullback, and then we pushed all the way back up to the high of the day. Now over here, this was very interesting, how the price was reacting right around this 281 area, this 280.50. So take a look at this 2-minute chart here. Look at how SPY is testing the previous high of day. Now remember, the financial sector is much stronger today than the tech sector. So I want to see both the sectors break in at the same time to give a better confirmation. So the Qs were relatively weaker and the financial sector was relatively stronger today if you were looking at that. Now look at this move right here where we broke to a new high of day. We broke the high of the day by about like 7 pennies or something, and it immediately went into a sell. So right there, that's an indication that we're facing some resistance up here, okay? And look at how these sellers came in here. Watch what happens after those sellers come in, pushes right to the moving average, and it gets bought up pretty aggressively again until we see more bulls coming in. So you can see how these bulls are defending this price, and we're not getting any kind of notable breaks in either direction. We're staying in the trading range. So at this point, the high is 280.96. Watch what happens next here. We see a huge pop above 281. Now at this point right here, I was borderline with my position. I was like, okay, 281, I'm out. Like if we keep pushing above here, 281, I'm going to be forced to cut this trade because I'm short the 280 calls, of course. But I was really curious as to how these buyers were going to be interacting up here, okay? And what we got was an initial rejection. So we had that huge pop up to 281. It didn't last very long. And then we got a big sell right down to 280.50, and look at how the price reacted. So as soon as we did that, as soon as the price broke to a higher high by 20 cents above 281, straight into a sell, and look at how aggressive these bears were. So we had the first leg. Now watch how the price reacts now. After we saw the first leg down, we had this weak retracement right near to our moving averages, and then we went straight for a second leg down right away. Now check this out. This was a second leg down. We have a bullish reversal candlestick, and the bulls are coming in. Now this is dangerous here because this sets up a trap in the down direction, because once this fails, these bulls who try to buy here, try to bottom pick this, are going to get trapped out. So watch how this reacts. You can see right away there's pressure. We tried to move up a second time to the moving average. Look at how the price rejects the moving average and goes for another leg down. And the buyers who entered here are now trapped. Now at this point, we did see 1, 2, 3 legs down technically. So I was looking to get out of the trade for profits. So this is when I was looking to start cutting my calls. I was covering the calls. So I covered half the position right here at 206. And again, I'll bring that trade log up to you. So 205 I covered, and then I covered the other half at 219. All right, look at how these buyers and sellers were interacting here. We had multiple inside bars in a row, an attempt to break lower, another attempt to break lower. We broke the low. We're at 278. Buyers were defending 278. Now look at how we got this. We got a break lower into no follow through. Okay, so this for me was a bit of a red flag. So I said, okay, buyers are coming in right here down at this 278 area. I'm just going to lock in my profits. I've been waiting here since 9 in the morning, 9:30, and I just want to get out of this trade at this point. I don't feel like sitting here anymore. And obviously it wasn't my intention to be sitting here till 2:30, but that's just how the trade played out. We broke again to a lower low, straight into a bull move. I mean, look at how the bears push it down straight into a bull. And now look at where this bull goes. Let's see how far the bulls can take it. We go right up to the exponential moving average and straight into a bearish engulfing. So let's see, do we get a retest or is it straight down from there? Okay, again, buyers trying to come in. We have a second leg up right to the moving average, bar closing near its low, and then more selling. And looks like we're trying to move lower. The market is trying to find more liquidity below. So I was away at this point, but this was our next leg down. So it would have been a 1. I guess it depends on how, if you count this as 1 or 2, but let's say 1, 2, and then 3 legs down. So down to that 277 area that we were watching, and we broke it. We broke all the way down to 275.50. But look at how the bulls reacted after that. It was a big sell. We saw a bull, and then the bulls take control again. So makes sense. After a big drop like that, it makes sense to see somewhat of a retracement. Anyhow, guys, so that was my trade for today. I gave you a bit of technical analysis on the SPY price action, a 2-minute chart. So basically, I look at the 5-minute and the 2-minute chart, guys. So if you learned, I said chart, guys. If you learned something from this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. I wish you all the best, okay? And tomorrow the market's closed, so maybe I'll make a video about something else or not. Anyhow, so have a great night. Take care. Ciao.